Donald Trump is crashing out at the White House right now as it appears JD Vance is throwing his regime under the bus based on the catastrophic war in Iran. It appears a civil war is brewing, in fact, between JD Vance and Pete Hegseth. What we're learning about from the Atlantic, it seems JD Vance and his team are leaking to the Atlantic after Kash Patel is suing them and after Donald Trump has consistently attacked the Atlantic. Here's what was leaked to the Atlantic, that JD Vance has privately raised doubts about the Pentagon's portrayal of the war in Iran, especially claims that U.S. weapons stockpiles remain strong. JD Vance is saying that he's very concerned that key munitions may be running low from the United States, which could weaken the U.S. readiness for other conflicts. Pete Hegseth and military leaders are insisting supplies are robust and the campaign has been highly successful. But internal assessments suggest that Iran still retains much of its military capability and U.S. forces have used a significant portion of critical weapons. Vance has avoided directly accusing Pentagon leaders of misleading the president, but continues pressing for more accurate assessments. And this is being leaked by JD Vance's team. At the same time, by the way, that NATO is now considering not even holding meetings on a regular basis because they know it's not even productive to have Donald Trump there. Instead, NATO wants to just basically try to run out the clock on this Trump presidency as Donald Trump continues to attack NATO and as Donald Trump is in this catastrophic quagmire in Iran right now. Reuters reporting that NATO is considering scaling back annual summits, with some members proposing meetings every 2 years or skipping 2028 altogether. The move aims to reduce tension, especially with Trump, and improve decision-making. In other words, don't have Donald Trump at annual meetings. It's not helpful. So let's not even have any meetings for the remainder of Donald Trump's term. I wonder who's leaking that as well. More leaks from JD Vance? ? And as I mentioned, Donald Trump crashing out at the White House right now. He had Caroline Leavitt run into a press conference where she's like, Donald Trump was so courageous. He survived another assassination attempt and now we need golden ballrooms. I was there. I witnessed how calm, cool, and collected Donald Trump was. He's the steady hand that we need now. That's what they were saying at the White House. By the way, has Donald Trump pretty much hasn't posted anything this morning other than this. Tell me if you believe this is the calm, steady hand that Caroline Leavitt's talking about. Donald Trump posts, wow. Jimmy Kimmel, who is in no way funny, as attested to by his terrible television ratings, made a statement on his show that is really shocking. He showed a fake video of the First Lady Melania and our son Barron, like they were actually sitting in his studio, listening to him speak, which they weren't and never would be. He then stated, our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow. A day later, a lunatic tried entering the ballroom of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, loaded up with a shotgun, handgun, and many knives. He was there for a very obvious and sinister reason. I appreciate that so many people are incensed by Kimmel's despicable call to violence and normally would not be responsive to anything that he said, but this is something far beyond the pale. Jimmy Kimmel should be immediately fired by Disney and ABC. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. The dude is the biggest snowflake loser ever. This is what he's posting today while the United States is stuck in this quagmire, this catastrophic war in Iran, while Foreign Minister Araghchi from Iran is meeting with Putin today after meeting with Oman and Pakistan to coordinate actual strategies to tear apart United States hegemony and power throughout the world, as NATO is no longer wanting to even hold meetings, as JD Vance is leaking to the Atlantic just how dire things are getting. Donald Trump is out there posting on social media, Jimmy Kimmel must be fired. Jimmy Kimmel, Rosie O'Donnell, the guy is a broken damn record. But by the way, wasn't it interesting when the purported incident happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner that the Secret Service ran to help JD Vance first and then not Donald Trump first? And then Donald Trump fell flat on his face. I mean, you all remember. I'm just going to show 14 seconds of this. Here, play this clip. And as I mentioned, the Iranian foreign minister, Araghchi, is in Russia right now, meeting with Vladimir Putin. They are having discussions about actual strategy right now and what they can do to checkmate the United States. And then looking at Donald Trump's whole team crash out in the White House, you had Caroline Leavitt saying the following. Let's play this clip.
Nobody in recent years has faced more bullets and more violence than President Trump.
You see how they're using this incident to further divide this country and actually stoke political violence in doing so? That's what the Trump regime is doing. Here, Caroline Leavitt again says it's a cult. It's a left-wing cult of hatred. That's what's going on right now. Watch as the Trump regime does what they do all the time. Use things to divide, use things to distract. I don't think the American people are going to be distracted. They'll play this clip.
Are fueling this kind of violence. The left-wing cult of hatred against the president and all of those who support him and work for him has gotten multiple people hurt and killed, and it almost did so again this weekend.
And then Caroline Leavitt's, but in all of this chaos, Donald Trump remained cool, calm, and collective. The exact type of leader we need right now. I mean, isn't this stuff just so predictably pathetic? Here she is right here. Let's play this clip.
The president's calm in the face of chaos, while yet another individual was trying to take his life, was really remarkable to witness, and it's something I will never forget. President Trump is fearless because he loves this country, and he is willing to put his own life on the line to deliver on the promises that he made to the American public who elected him here into the highest office in the land.
And then she's like, when you have mentally disturbed individuals across the country listening to these radical left Democrats, really just people saying, can we have healthcare, please? Can we please have free healthcare, affordable healthcare, affordable education? Can we not be involved in catastrophic and unlawful wars? Can we help people get housing? Such radical. Could you not bully people and rip away people's rights and send ICE and Border Patrol, Gestapo in the streets? Radical, mental, insane people. I mean, you know, it's all projection and confession, right? Everything with this regime. Here she is. Let's play it.
This country, whether you're on television, a podcast host, people listen. And when you have mentally disturbed individuals across the country who are listening to this crazed rhetoric about the president day after day after day, it inspires them to do crazy things. And unfortunately, it's not just the media. It is the entire Democrat Party has made their pitch to voters across the country that Donald Trump poses an existential threat to democracy, that he is a fascist, and that they compare him to Hitler. I mean, these are despicable statements that the American people have been consuming for years. And so many mentally perturbed individuals are led to believe these words are truth and then are inspired to act on it. I have a whole host of examples that we can share with you after. It is pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries just this month said, "We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time." Governor Josh Shapiro said heads need to roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said people are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration.
And then they sent their little MAGA stooges through the halls of Congress. MeidasTouch Network's DC bureau was there. Pablo Manriquez, Scott McFarland, to capture what these MAGA Republicans were doing. They were all running around the halls today going, ballroom! The taxpayers should pay for the ballroom. Now they're using this as it shouldn't be private. It shouldn't just be private donors. The taxpayers need to be paying for the Golden Ballroom. It's a national security threat. No, what, a national security threat? Donald Trump near the nuclear codes. Donald Trump as the commander-in-chief is the national security threat. Here's MAGA Republican Congressmember Fry. Play this clip.
Congressman, real quick, what do you make of efforts to include the ballroom in reconciliation?
Look, the ballroom is a national security initiative. I think it's high time that it got done. So however we can get it done, we should get it done.
Got it. Do you think that the American people want something more than just ice funding and a ballroom in the reconciliation package? Senator Kennedy is saying that you guys only get one more bite at the apple.
Look, to me personally as a conservative, I'd like to see as much as you possibly can do in the reconciliation product.
But isn't as a conservative, isn't the reconciliation process the thing that's blowing up the national debt more than anything else?
So the reconciliation is a vehicle to reconcile certainly things that are going out of whack within the United States, and I think this is a vehicle in which you could do it. Obviously, the Democrats on the other side aren't playing any ball. In fact, they're trying to do everything they can to stop it. This is the ballroom and other things are an initiative of the American people, and we should get it done.
Are your constituents saying that they want like mass ice stations still in the ballroom, or are they saying they want lower prices?
Well, I think that they want both, but what they want is a Democrat Party who's actually functional, and the only thing that they're really focused on right now is chastising the president and not doing anything that has been historically bipartisan in this Congress.
Here's Democratic Congressmember Vindman in the halls of Congress, and we caught up with him, and he's like, now the Republicans want to put the Golden Ballroom in a funding bill and make the taxpayers pay for it. What are we even talking about here? Let's play this clip.
Congressman, what do you make of Republicans trying to put Donald Trump's ballroom in the reconciliation package?
I don't think it makes any sense. That's what I think. I think that the ballroom should have been should have gone through Congress at the start, and right now they're trying to jam it. And it doesn't make any sense.
Got it. Thank you, Congressman. Appreciate it.
And then you have Trump's MAGA sycophants attacking NATO, like Tammy Bruce. Let's play this clip.
Maybe the dynamic with Spain will change, that maybe we should not maybe they shouldn't be part of NATO anymore. Maybe we shouldn't support a NATO that includes countries that are not supportive. Is that a real possibility?
Well, I won't speculate, even on hypothetical, certainly. But what we do know is that when you've got a force that comes together to be a deterrent, everyone must work together, that it is a partnership. The president has shown people what partnerships can look like.
And she attacks Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the UK before King Charles' arrival here in the United States. Let's play this clip.
He's in a bind, I guess. But yeah, I mean, somewhere Winston Churchill's rolling over in his grave.
Yeah. His numbers, when it comes to doing things for the people of his nation, it's a sovereign nation, but the people of his country are also not happy. His approval numbers are not good at all. It's a statement that, no matter where you live and who you are, you want to be secure. You want your leadership to make sure that you can count on tomorrow, that you know what the future will look like.
And then finally, we heard more from Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz, and he's been tearing into the United States and Israel today for this catastrophic war. Here's what he has to say. Let's play it.
Was den Iran betrifft, as far as Iran is concerned, yes, I have become disillusioned with that by now. And that is simply because the United States of America and Israel had assumed right at the beginning that this problem would be solved within a few days. And today we have to realize that it has not been solved. That is why we, on the European side, also want to make a diplomatic effort to find a solution. I have pointed out that for some time now, diplomatic efforts towards Iran have been taking place again from Germany as well. We are coordinating closely with the American side on this, but we also state that we have our own European ideas on how to reach a solution to the conflict. I hope we succeed, but I am not sure.
And folks, it's not only Spirit Airlines now asking for the bailout. It's a whole group of budget airlines going to the White House, seeking favors from Donald Trump for bailouts. Frontier, Avalo, they're now seeking a $2.5 billion government bailout. The group of airlines reportedly came up with $2.5 billion by calculating their extra spending on jet fuel this year. So Donald Trump destroys the lives of our farmers, right? Farm bankruptcies up, what is it, like 48% year over year, 70% in some areas as well. He bankrupts them. Bailout. And look what I gave you. Look what I did for you. I saved you with my bailouts. Now with the airline industry, crashes them, gives them bailouts. The group of airlines came up with this money based on the jet fuel costs. This bailout could convert into government taking equity stakes in the companies. Yay! More government control over private business. Wasn't there a name for that? That's all Donald Trump does. And this proposal separate from the negotiations to loan $500 million to Spirit Airlines, $3 billion for bailouts. You get a bailout. You get a bailout. By the way, where's people's Doge dividend checks, huh? There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.